wide, toes to touch. And then walking the hands forward, dipping the head down. Take a few breaths to just settle in physically. Relaxing through the shoulders and across the chest. And then for just a breath, tenting the fingertips, really drawing the knuckles away from the body, bringing length through the back of the arms. And then dropping the elbows, bringing the hands to the back of the head, finding an interlace, and just bringing some pressure to the skull. Feeling grounded and connected. You can release that interlace, send the fingertips long once more, take a final breath. Big exhale. And then on your next inhale, you can pull yourself upright. We're just going to come to a seated position. From here, we'll take a deep breath in, arm circle up overhead, finding an interlace above the head, shifting the gaze up, stretching high, and then swaying off to either side, bringing life to the side bodies. Take one final breath in here. And then exhaling, circling the arms down and back, we'll find the same interlace at the low back. As you inhale, drawing the hands away from the chest. As you lift the chest and the gaze. And then as you exhale, bringing the hands towards the left hip, we're going to drop the head off towards the left. Stretching open the right side of the neck, shoulder. Breathing deeply and completely into your right side. On your next inhale, we'll send the hands away from the body once more. And then exhale, drawing the hands over towards the right hip, the opposite hip, dropping the head towards the same shoulder. Stretching through the left side of the neck and the shoulder. Big breath in. Big breath out. You can take that final clasp behind, stretching open the chest and the gaze. And then as you exhale, working your way into your tabletop. Shoulders above wrists, hips over knees. Firmly pressing the tops of the feet down into the ground, sending energy down and out through the palms and the fingertips. We'll inhale, dropping the belly, separating through the collarbones, pulling forward. And then exhale, pulling the collarbones towards the hips, arching high for cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Starting to move through these two shapes at your own pace. And then the next time you're in your tabletop, we'll stay. Bringing the left hand closer to beneath the face, we'll inhale, the right arm lifts, stacking the shoulders. And then exhale, threading your right hand through, bearing weight down on the right arm and the right cheek. We'll stay for a round of breath. On your next inhale, winding that arm open once more. We'll close it off, threading the needle. This time we'll stay for 3 breaths. Maybe choosing to walk the left fingertips forward or find the half bind behind the back. Keeping the connection between the tops of the toes and the mat. Final round of breath. And then unwinding the shape, pressing the mat away to open up. Big breath in. Exhale, planting the right hand down, opening up with the left arm. And then exhale, threading your needle, bearing weight down for just a breath. On your next inhale, winding that arm to stack. And then exhale, coming down to stay, maybe walking the right fingertips forward, maybe threading or finding your bind. Final round of breath. And then working your way back towards your open shape, taking a big breath in as you stack the shoulders one last time, and then exhale, arriving in your tabletop, maybe working through a round of cat-cow. And then we'll lift the right hand and the left leg long, balancing on our left hand and our right knee, really pressing those right toes down into the earth for balance. We'll inhale and extend those limbs away from the body, and then exhale, come to crunch the knee and the elbow together under the body. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. We have 3 more. Extending long with your inhales and tucking in with the exhales. On your last extension, we'll stay long with the limbs, and then dropping the right hand down, we're going to curl the toes towards the head, and then starting to lift the head and curl it back towards the toes, opening up the front body. Big breath in, big breath out. You can start to tuck the left knee in towards the chest, and then stepping it through the hands, landing in our Anjane. We can come up to 10th the fingertips, holding here for just a round of breath, going forward with our inhale, sinking low with our exhale. Last inhale here. And then exhale, shifting it back, finding your half split. We'll stay for a round of breath. Softening through the jaw, the shoulders, the neck. Your inhale can bring you forward, and then we're going to swing that left knee back to meet the right for your tabletop. Maybe moving through a round of cat-cow. And then lifting the left arm and the right leg long on your inhale. Finding your stability here for your exhale. And then on your next inhale, sending those limbs just a bit longer. Exhale, crunching them to touch beneath the body. Inhale, sending them long. Working through a few more of these at your own pace. On your last round, we'll stay long, and then you can drop the left hand down, starting to curl the right toes towards the head, finding lift through the leg, and then tilting the head back, gazing high, opening the front body. Big breath in, big breath out. We'll release the right foot between the hands, stepping through to find our Anjane. Staying for a round of breath. Final inhale. And then as you exhale, folding over, finding your half split. Breathing into your posterior chain and moving into your softness. your next inhale, we'll crawl back towards the top of our mat, and then swinging the right leg behind to meet the left. One last round through our cat and our cow. And then tucking the toes under, sending the hips high, down dog. Taking your time to arrive in the shape, maybe pedaling out through the heels, wagging your tail, circling your head yes and no. On our next inhale, we'll shift forward, finding plank. We'll just hold for a round of breath. And then options here to either lower all the way down to the mat or finding your chaturanga. And then either pushing up into your up dog or taking a few rounds of flowing cobra. On your next inhale, rising up high, staying high, and then tucking the knees in towards the body, the toes, and then lifting the head towards the sky, opening up that front body. Big breath in. Exhale, release, coming back down to the mat. We'll plant the palms under the shoulders, pressing up through our supported plank or our full plank, hips high, down dog. We'll take a round of breath. And then on the inhale, we'll lift the right toes high, bending at the knee, taking some hip circles on this side in one direction. And then reversing hip circles in the opposite direction. We'll step the right foot between the hands, opening up into our twisted runner's lunge, right arm high. Big breath in, big breath out. As you inhale, we'll plant the right hand, bringing the left foot to meet the right, forward fold. As you arrive, moving into a half lift on the inhale, and then exhale, finding your fold. Inhale, arms rise, and then finding that clasp at the top, stretching up, shifting the gaze high, and then bringing the clasp behind the head, circling the elbows in and leaning back. Big breath in, big breath out. On your inhale, you can stretch the arms high, releasing the bind. Exhale, diving forward, finding your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, this time stepping the right foot back. We'll inhale to our twisted runner's lunge towards the left. Stay for a round of breath. And then as you're ready, replacing the left foot with the left hand, sending the left toes back to meet the right, and then moving through your flow, maybe lowering all the way or halfway to your chaturanga, and then inhaling to your cobra or your up dog. Exhale, down dog. Moving on, we'll lift the left toes high, bending at the knee, taking some hip circles. And then reversing the direction. As you inhale, shifting the gaze forward, stepping the left foot through. We'll lift the left arm high on an inhale, twisted runner's lunge. Deep breath in. And then as you exhale, planting the left hand, bringing the right toes to meet the left, forward fold. Inhaling to our halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, arms circle high, finding that clasp at the top, stretching tall. And then clasping the back of the head with the interlace. Cradling your skull to look up, bringing the elbows in. Big breath in, big breath out. Inhale, releasing the bind behind the head, circling the arms down and around, finding your forward fold. Inhale, stepping the left foot back, lifting the right arm high, twisted runner's lunge. Inhale. As you exhale, swapping out the right foot for the right hand, moving through your flow. Ending in your down dog. We'll move through that flow one more time, a little bit quicker. Inhale, right toes lift. Exhale, stepping the right foot through. Inhale, twisted runner's lunge. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, arms circle and clasp. Inhale, stretch. Finding the cradle of the head for just a breath. And then releasing, circling the arms around, finding your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, stepping the right foot back, twisted runner's lunge. Inhale, finding your twist. And then exhale, finding your flow. We'll inhale, left toes lift. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, left hand lifts, twisted lunge. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, finding your clasp, stretching tall, and then cradling the head for a breath, admiring the sky. Inhale, releasing the bind, circling the arms, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, stepping the left foot back. Inhale, right arm lifts, twisted runner's lunge. Exhale, flow. We'll take 3 rounds of breath before moving on. So maybe dropping into your child's pose, grabbing a sip of water, coffee. And then as you're ready, tucking the toes under, hips high. We'll inhale, the right toes lift. Exhale, stepping the right foot through, opening up to warrior two. We'll inhale, shift it back to peaceful. Staying for a round of breath. Inhale, rolling the shoulder back, peeking up at the sky. And then exhale, shifting forward to finding your side angle. Elbow can rest on knee. Stretching the left arm all the way up and over the head. And then inhale, rolling the shoulder back, peeking up at the sky once more. One long line from the left fingers to the left toes. Big breath in. Big breath out. On your next inhale, we'll circle upright to our flying warrior. Toes can point towards the corners. We'll take a deep breath in here, finding the interlace of the hands above the head, stretching tall, cradling our skull once more, challenging the balance with this wide stance. And then as you exhale, we'll keep this grip on the head and then find a gentle forward fold. You can dangle here with your hands around your head, maybe just sway back and forth. Eventually releasing the hands, allowing them to find the mat, and taking 2 rounds of breath here in your forward fold. On your next inhale, we're going to crawl the hands over towards the left foot, bending deeply into the left knee, our Skandasana for just a breath. Really opening up through the inside of the right leg. Inhale. And then as you exhale, crawling to the inside of the right foot, landing in our lizard pose. So right foot is outside of the right hand. And then you can either choose to stay here, or you can drop the left knee, untucking those toes. This is a good place to stop as well. Otherwise, you can roll off onto the right edge of the foot. You can choose to crawl down onto the forearms, or maybe rest the head. Whatever feels good to open up that right hip. Keeping your breath flowing, maybe bringing a gentle sway to whatever shape you're in. Reminding yourself to not be rigid. We'll take one more round of breath. On your next inhale, coming back to long arms, rolling onto the sole of the foot, tucking the left toe, sending the right foot high, maybe choosing to open your dog for just a moment, maybe to flip your dog if that's available to you. And then meeting back in our down dog, maybe pedaling through the heels, shaking out the head, getting ready to move on to the other side. We'll inhale, left toes lift. Exhale, step it through, warrior two. Inhale, shift it back, finding peaceful. We'll stay for a round of breath. And then on your next inhale, cartwheeling the arms forward, landing on that knee, finding your side angle. Stretching the right arm all the way above the head. And finding your length by shooting energy out your fingertips and down out the sole of the right foot. Inhale, rolling the shoulders back, peeking up at the sky. Exhale, stay and sink. On your inhale, you can cartwheel upright, finding our flying warrior, clasping the hands above the head, lifting on the inhale, and then cradling the skull, shifting the gaze up, staying for a breath. Big breath in. Exhale, keeping the clasp as you fold forward, hanging like this, or maybe releasing your grip, letting the arms hang. Maybe finding a gentle sway in this movement, keeping everything nice and soft. And then as you're ready, bending into that right knee, crawling the hands towards the right foot. We'll pause for a breath in our Skandasana, really opening up through the left inside of the leg. Big breath in, big breath out. And then inhale, crawling towards the inside of that left foot, moving into our lizard on this side. Taking whatever variation serves you, serves your left hip, acknowledging the difference that it may hold from your right side. Choosing to either drop the knee, maybe circling to that outside of the left foot, and then staying on your long arms or coming down to your rest. Every day is different. And acknowledging our differences from day to day will only serve us better in the long run. We'll take one more round of breath. Inhale, filling up the belly, really cleansing out with fresh air. And then exhale, releasing whatever you're holding on to. You can come back to your long arms, tucking the right foot under, Sending the left toes high, maybe flipping the dog for just a moment. Just opening the dog. And then meeting in our down dog. This is our final breath here, so shaking out the head, maybe wagging the tail. And then starting to slowly walk the feet forward just towards halfway until you can seat your glutes down on the mat. We'll send the legs long in front of us, moving into a seated forward fold. Taking a moment to really connect the sits bones with the earth, adjusting as you need. And then taking a gentle bend through the knees, sitting tall, maybe pressing the mat away for a moment, really finding the length through the spine. We'll inhale, arm circle high overhead. And then as you exhale, circling down, finding your fold. Hands can land on your shins, your ankles, your toes, your feet. We'll stay for 3 breaths. Allowing your body to soften, stay. Really feeling the hips pull back and the crown reach forward. Your soft front body really surrendering down towards the legs. Really keeping the breath moving, not allowing yourself to become closed off and breathless. We'll take one final inhale. One big exhale. You can release your grip, slowly coming back towards seated. And then as you're ready, we'll make our way to our backs. We're going to move through a few rounds of bridge pose. So as you inhale, we're going to send the arms high overhead. And then as you exhale, lifting up the hips towards bridge. Inhale, sending the arms back down to the earth. And then exhale, hips come down to the feet. So we're just going to roll through this. Inhale, arms lift, hips lift. Exhale, hands lower, hips lower. Finding your own pace and your own flow, but just keeping it nice and loose, never coming to a top or bottom, but just continuing to move. Taking 2 more rounds. In your final round, you can stay high in your bridge. Maybe choosing to tuck the shoulders under the body, maybe coming to the balls of the feet. Really pressing up, pinching the glutes tight, opening through the heart and the throat. Big breath in. Exhale, release, rolling your back down to meet the mat. We'll tuck the knees in towards the chest. You can give them a little hug, a little rock back and forth. And then we'll drop the left sole to meet the earth, crossing the right ankle over the left knee. We're going to move into our sleeping pigeon. So this is a good place to stop. Maybe you choose to push that right knee away just a little bit. Otherwise, you can lift the left foot off the ground, finding a clasp behind the back of the left leg, and then find your pigeon here. Always thinking about drawing that right knee away from the body. Maybe bringing a gentle rock to this shape as well. Encouraging everything to stay active and soft. Removing the idea from our minds that there's ever a final shape or a final pose. There's always something more to move into. We'll take a big breath in here. And then as you exhale, we're just going to rock the legs off towards the left, dropping them as they are into our supine twist. If this is not available or uncomfortable for you in any way, you can just drop into your regular supine. Otherwise, taking the arms wide, dropping the gaze off towards the right. Giving just a little extra love to our hip in the shape. Taking one final round of breath. And then inhaling the knees back towards the chest, giving yourself a little rock. This time dropping the right sole of the foot to the earth, crossing the left ankle at the right knee. Maybe staying here, maybe starting to push that left knee away physically with the hand. Otherwise, grabbing behind the right leg, pulling the leg in towards the body, and then pushing the left knee away energetically, just thinking about that movement out of the knee. Keeping your breath moving, maybe finding a gentle roll, a rock from side to side. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. As you're ready, dropping the legs off towards the right, adjusting however you please for this side of your supine. Keeping the shoulders heavy, arms come wide, gaze can shift off towards the left. One final breath. Big inhale deep to the belly. And a complete exhale, letting it all go. As you're ready, we'll tuck the knees in towards the chest, taking your final little rock from side to side. And then maybe circling the arms around the shins, giving yourself a little hug. Maybe nuzzling the nose between the knees, tucking everything tight for your final inhale. And then exhale, releasing everything, finding your final rest, your Shavasana. Maybe closing off the eyes or finding a soft gaze, admiring the sky. Your next inhale, as you fill your chest with air, you can send the hands long overhead, finding a full body stretch. Getting all those last bits of sleep out of the body, rolling off to either the right or the left side. We'll pause here for a round of breath in our fetal position. Palm of the hand can meet the earth, and then finding a soft gaze, maybe looking at your fingers, maybe closing off the eyes. Choosing to send away what's not serving you and to soak in what you need. And then taking a round of breath to seal that in. Take one last inhale in this shape. And then as you exhale, pushing the earth away, shifting yourself into a seated position. Finding a comfortable seat, and then finding a soft gaze or closing off the eyes once you arrive. We'll take 3 rounds of shared breath. So releasing your air and then inhaling completely, arms circling up overhead. Exhale, hands come down through prayer. Inhale, arms circle up. Exhale, prayer. Final breath, deepest breath in. Exhale, your hands can stop at your heart center. Your head can bow down, or your prayer can lift to your third eye. Taking a moment to honor the light that is within and the brightness that surrounds you. Final breath in. Big breath out. Namaste, yogis.